All right, I got to get my notes together here. First off, hi, everybody. Let me get to the announcements. Amy Frost needs help moving the tables and chairs, so please get a hold of her after service because that's important. And get a hold of Bill Yerkes because for the Christmas family, the paperwork is downstairs, I assume. Okay, and, oh, they're not all there yet. Yeah. 80% of it there, and you can start picking out stuff to get presents out. And other than that, it is something near and dear to my heart. It's Transgender Support Week, and we all need to do that. On that note, let's start.
Good morning. Our call to worship this morning is separated. The pulpit side is the east. No. You guys are the east. You guys are the west. There is a time for everything, and everything on earth has its special season. A time to die. Time to plant. There's a time to kill. There's a time to destroy. There's a time to cry. There's a time to throw away stones. And a time not to look. There's a time to look for something. There's a time to keep things. There's a time to tear apart. There's a time to be silent. Time for love. There's a time for war.
All right, all the little people, come on down. Good morning. Whoa, whoa, easy there. Hi. Oh, you okay?
That's right.
Good morning. Oh, we won't start without you. Anybody else? Anybody else gonna come running down? Okay. All right. Hey, guess what? Thanksgiving on Thursday. Turkey, potatoes, pie, and thankfulness.
I like pumpkin pie.
Me too. Do you know? Oh, my turn. Do you know another word for thankful is grateful? And if we're grateful, we show gratitude. You want to see something? You know what this is?
A notebook.
It is a notebook. Do you know what's in this notebook? It's called a gratitude journal. And every day, at the end of the day, before I go to bed, I write down at least 3 things I'm grateful or thankful for. And some days it's so easy because I have like the best day ever. And it's so easy to think of 3 things. And some days, not so easy, and I have to think a little bit harder. But look out here. See these people? Almost all of them have been in this journal. Look at them. They're pretty grateful. They're pretty great people. All of us, right? We're a good group of people. And you know what? Here comes a shameless plug. Do you know what we have to be grateful for this week? Lots and lots of these people are going to help us raise money to buy boots for kids who can't afford boots. I bet you guys have boots, right, for winter? Some families can't afford winter boots. They don't have enough money for boots. So we're going to have the Festival of Trees, and these people have made trees, and they're going to help us clean up after church and set up. And then they're going to come and they're going to look at trees, and maybe they'll buy some, and all that money will be used to buy boots for kids who don't have them. And you know what? That special day will go in this journal too. So if you haven't thought of this, try at the end of the day before you go to bed, ready? At the end of the day before you go to bed, see if you can think of 3 things you're thankful for every day. And if you're not old enough to write yet, you could draw pictures. I can't draw pictures because I'm not good. No one would know what it was. Not even me. But I write. But you could draw. So think about being grateful and thankful. All right? And now be grateful to go upstairs to Godly Play. Thank you.
Our ancient word this morning is Psalm 13. Long enough, God. You've ignored me long enough. I've looked at the back of your head long enough. Long enough, I've carried this ton of trouble, lived with a stomach full of pain. Long enough, my arrogant enemies have looked down on their noses at me. Take a good look at me, God. God, my God, I want to look life in the eye so no enemy can get the best of me or laugh when I fall on my face. I've thrown myself headlong into your arms. I'm celebrating your rescue. I'm singing at the top of my lungs. I am so full of answered prayers. The contemporary word was written this morning.
Not this morning, but
Yeah, the mess, yeah, by Jan Shaw. You tremble, not in anger or fear, but with loneliness, alone amidst the others. Tremble, such an old-fashioned word, which perfectly describes that feeling when the floor feels unsteady and may crumble. Oh, the feeling you can't come through this, aching, sorrowful, the proverbial dark night of the soul. What a long, long night. Yet tearfully, you hold on through the dark dusk midnight and into the witching hour, just holding on, trembling now with fear. Then the light cracks open. No sun yet, just the slightest lightening of the black. Yet you tremble. This time with the beginnings of determination. You'll get through this. As the sun rises, its light encompasses a greater field. You tremble with relief, as you know deeply others are there with you. The loneliness begins to dissipate. As the sun rises, they join you, adding needed strength. You tremble in joy. You've got this. The sun peaks at its apex, high noon. The banishment of shadow, albeit temporary. Your trembling lessens, enough that you reach out with a steady hand. You gather others lightly and tightly in your hands. You sigh. The sun begins its descent and the trembling stops. You know, not only did you persevere, but you also became powerful, peaceful, and energized. You stand in the knowledge that you can help. That feels good. As the sun sets, you realize the darkness isn't returning. A light emanates from within. As others see the light and are drawn, their light flickers a little brighter. You remember the trembling, and here on the other side, you know light burns in a new way that the night can't dim. A ceaseless gratitude envelops you, extending out for the remainder of your life. A light that can't go out, and life is good. Then you remember this light doesn't extinguish at your death. If anything, it grows brighter to cut through the veil and enfold your loved ones. You realize we are all one forever. Love is all that remains.
thanks, Diane. I couldn't have read it that good. It's 2 days after Gary and my 45th anniversary, and a week before Thanksgiving, so obviously gratitude is the thing to talk about. I'm trying to follow my script because last time I got, mixed up, so I'm trying to read this. I am grateful, but today I'm going to talk about those times that you can't really feel it truly. It's easy to say I'm grateful for family, to be alive, all those things that we say, but I've had times that that's just lip service. There are times when life just becomes too hard, times of grief and stress, times when, as a young mother, I felt overwhelmed and lonely. A partner can't and shouldn't supply all your needs. I've had my share of losses and deal with chronic depression. But for me, the hardest time was a couple years ago. I spent 1.5 years away from family and friends taking care of my nephew, Denny, who was in hospice. My sister Marion had given him up for adoption 2 years before I was born. He found us after Marion died. I went down to Florida to meet him in person after he went into hospice. Initially, we laughed a lot, and my brothers are much, much older, so I felt like I found a peer brother. He was nearly my age. Within a couple days, he asked me to come down and take care of him because he had no one else. He said none of his kids, he had 4 of them, would help him. I felt pity. I'd just done this with several family members before and thought, hospice is typically 6 months. I can do this. I joked that I'm the family death midwife. When I show up, everybody's like, well, who's dying now? I thought I knew what I was getting into. And Gary, as always, was supportive and there for me. He also agreed that I should do this because he's got no one else. The first couple of months were pretty rosy, other than I was beginning to miss my family. He wanted me to sit with him constantly, and we got to know each other very well. Me quickly because I overshare, but with him, he opened up more slowly. As time went on, I liked and respected him less and less. But I made a commitment, and my Capricorn sense of responsibility and my upstanding Gary wouldn't let me forget that, no matter how hard and how homesick I was. I held on, immersed in the day-to-day, and kept saying by about 10 phone calls to Gary and several to her. Thank God for Diane, because she helped me get through this. Then the other thing that got me through it was I worked on my family tree and genealogy, which sounds like big deal, but that was something important to me. Denny was intent on finding out all about this new family that he had discovered and where he came from. And I had dabbled in it previously and was very interested in it. And with his encouragement, my loneliness and increasingly overwhelming homesickness, I dove in head first. It reminds me of Kurt's talk the other day about hearing your ancestors. I came to know mine through their stories. No kings, no queens, just some interesting people. For instance, I had a grandfather that owned Belle Isle. Sacagawea's husband was my first cousin 7 times removed. I felt them all with me, lending me their strength. I swear they helped me get through it. To give you an idea how much I delved into this, I have over 18,000 people in my family tree. That's a lot. I ended up being there with him for 21 months. When his medication increased, he got worse. And he slowly became more and more paranoid, defensive, and angry. He was all those things beforehand, but it got worse. It wasn't his fault. Part of it was the meds, but it surely wasn't my fault either, yet I took the brunt of it. Gratitude was the last thing I was feeling. I tried to say things as though I felt gratitude, but I didn't. Fake it till you make it. It didn't work. to the point where I would go onto Facebook and ask for prayers for Denny that he would be released from his suffering, when the majority of what I was feeling was release me from my suffering. Not altruistic, but that's honest. This was a no-win situation. For me to go home, he had to die. I was barely hanging on and getting more and more depressed, aggravated, and resentful. I tried not to be, but I couldn't help it. Eventually, he died, and I made it. I wasn't happy that he died, but I was relieved. That's as honest as I can be. I've read dozens of self-help and spiritual books. I know the power of positive thinking. There are times you just can't do it. You just hold on the best you can. But then I was home, permanently, completely. Back not only to Michigan, my Michigan, but to my beloved family, dear dogs, and my fabulous church family. I began to be overwhelmed by thankfulness and gratitude for every little thing around me. The beauty of this state. Did I mention in the last 5 minutes that I hate Florida? I usually say that with a few cuss words involved, and I'm really behaving. But this state, the colors, the trees, the lakes, and wildlife, the cat who had kittens under my handicap ramp, the new declawed one we're feeding, named Bob, that Gary named him Bob. I don't know why Gary named him Bob, but we even have a possum we call Pogo that comes in and feeds when Bob is done in the middle of the night. The damn roads that are getting fixed. Having Denny's daughters in my life, healing my resentment. They came in. Even the discombobulation at Myers with the reset. I just thought of it as a treasure hunt. My loving, hilarious, dysfunctionally perfect family. All of you. My life's too remarkable, funny, and full of love for me not to feel gratitude. Even through the insomnia, which is much better, by the way. I've never lost that feeling of grateful homecoming. I pray it never leaves. For those who are going through rough times, don't give up hope. My wish is that you come through it, that your life is technicolored, peaceful, and fine. Mine is pretty dang good right now, and my heart is full. Don't get me wrong. Things aren't perfect by any means, of course. I just have never felt this happy to be right where I am, warts and all. With hindsight, would I do it again? Probably, because it's what I do. Just with eyes open and more protected and a bunch of ground rules. Bunch of ground rules. I came home feeling and looking like I had aged 10 years. I'm fighting hard and mostly winning to get my health back. I know there are a lot of you who have went through much darker times, and I honor you for that, for hanging on. I'm here if you need me. My number's in the directory. And I mean that, I'm not just saying it. And one more thing, I'm not a mental health professional. This is just my experience. And I'm incredibly lucky to be born at this time. Without medications, I'd probably be a suicide statistic. I ask you, the next time someone tells you they're having a rough time, don't automatically tell them to look on the bright side, or even worse, buck up. It only makes feelings of failure get added to the depression. Hanging on at these times shows incredible strength. Sometimes that's all you can do is barely hang on, and you just hold on. Just sit with them. Listen. Check up on them. And if any of you are feeling like this, I beg you, call your doctor. Get some help. It's the bravest thing you can do. For all of us, let's try to be kind, show empathy and love for each other more than fully. In the end, love's all that matters. So Jody told me, keep this as close to 1,500 words as possible. I'm under 13. That's something you guys should feel grateful for. You're welcome. Where are we? Prayers of the people. To add to the ones that are in the bulletin, the flyer that's in there, we have Eileen Harrison's in the hospital at Sparrow. So please add her to your prayers. God love her. And today, or tomorrow, is November 20th, Transgender Day of Remembrance. Remember those who have died by murder or suicide because of ignorance and hate. And that just makes my heart hurt. A prayer of gratitude. I dwell upon the goodness of my life. Thank you. I cherish in my heart all your gifts to me. Thank you. I notice the blessings of life of breath, of loving and of sharing. For all this and more, I am so grateful. Thank you, Lord. And now, living with thanksgiving. Here in this place, we recognize each other as inherently worthy of love, care, and access to basic resources. As a faith community, we share in struggle and we share in joy. As an act in this faith, we bring our resources together to serve the community. Now, please join me in the prayer of dedication. Holy One, we live within systems and norms that teach us to measure our worth by our wealth, what society, and how we fit in. These stories about us and our neighbors lead us away from love. Help us recognize in ourselves and each other a beloved nature, one that calls forth our compassion, creativity, and courage, that we may sustain life together. Amen. And now, everyone's favorite part, the passing of the peace. The peace of God be with you. I'm going to make it short and sweet. Here's the benediction. Go in peace. I love you guys. Oh, we got to sing first. Oh my goodness, we got to sing. Sorry.
I need this. Okay. Have a seat. We're going to learn a new song. So get out the sing book. If you have them, those smaller books that say sing. Go ahead and sit. We're going to learn it first. So 143 in the sing book, go ahead and sit. So I'm going to have the choir sing it. You're going to learn the refrain, which is the first 4 lines. So I'm going to have the choir sing that refrain once, and then I'll have you sing it. Okay?
Yes.
That's whatever you like. Okay, whatever works. Now it's your turn. So we're just going to do those first 4 lines, and the choir will help you. Job. We're going to do it again. This time, when you get to where you just ended and it said, we will praise you, this time you're going to sing we will, and then you're going to jump to the last 2 measures. That's what you're going to sing after the last verse. So that's just we will praise you. Okay? All right, so we'll do the whole refrain, but then we'll end it with that last ending, okay? Yes, it's a little awkward, that last praise you. It doesn't feel like the accent's on the right syllable, but you know where you're supposed to be going anyway. Okay, so now stand up. We're going to sing the whole thing, so you'll sing the refrain, then the choir will sing the verse. We'll go back and sing the refrain. The choir will sing verse 2. We'll go back and sing the refrain, and then that last little awkward ending. Okay? You all with me? All right.
Let's go have coffee. But first what? Oh, but first let's move the things for Amy. Yes, let's help Amy move stuff.